Welcome to Hotline TV. I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm Quinn McCord. Today is another edition of War for the Congress.
All right, Quinn McCord, we are taking a break from the White House because you know what we got to do? We got to check in on that Senate. We had 3 polls out today and some big races: Oregon, Colorado, Maine. It's time to rank those Senate races. You ready to put your prowess to the test?
Yep, we're going to rank these races. They're likely to switch party control in the order of 1 to 10, 1 being the most likely to switch, 10 the least likely. Amy, what do you have number 1?
Right.
I don't know.
Like everybody does in the whole world, Virginia.
Virginia.
Okay,
and
we don't even, do we even
number
need to talk
2,
about it?
No,
number 2, New Mexico.
Sure.
Steve Pierce is running 15-second ads now.
Yeah, well, it's an austerity program, but you know, it's not. John Ensign says it's not over, but we'll see. Number 3, I think we may disagree here.
All right, what do you put?
I put 3, New Hampshire.
Interesting.
You know, when an incumbent, you know, Sununu's made some gains, but when an incumbent is behind, it's just so hard to sort of pull yourself back up. Not impossible, but.
All right. Well, I agree that he's in trouble, but I put Colorado as more problematic. Open seat. It is. New Hampshire is probably more blue than Colorado. At the same time, I sure would rather have an open seat in a year like this to be a Democrat. And I think Schaefer has a lot of baggage. Not that Sununu doesn't, but Sununu's baggage is almost all about his relationship with Bush. Schaefer's is a lot more personal. So I think that's tougher. And then number 4, I put New Hampshire.
For New Hampshire. 4, I have Alaska actually.
Wow, look at you.
I mean, it's.
You are loving Bob Schaefer today.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a little warm on Schaefer.
Okay.
Or not maybe as cold to him as you are, but
Okay.
but you know, you're a sitting senator under indictment. I mean, Stevens has had some movement up in the polls. He's not down double digits anymore. Palin's going to help him. It's still tough. It could go either way.
Now, more and more, I have heard people talking about this Senate race saying if he wins this case, he wins re-election. Do you agree with that?
Sure, but he has to win before the election, which I'm not sure the case will be decided by then.
Yeah, I just don't know even if he wins the case, if he still wins, simply because so much information is going to be put out there that's going to not paint him in a particularly good light. Okay.
Maybe.
All right, number
6. We agree on Oregon.
Oregon. New poll today shows, it's a Democratic poll, granted, but it shows Mercurio now up a couple points.
Yeah, you know, I used to think that Gordon Smith wouldn't lose unless it was a wave year. At this point, you know, you can almost kind of see him losing, even if it's not like a national wave, just because in Oregon, it's going to be a good Democratic year.
Right. No, that's a very good point. All right, what do you have for 7?
I have North Carolina.
I know this is...
Some of those polls have been pretty close between Dole and Hagan, and the DSCC has been pounding Dole. And I think Republicans are responding. The NRSC is in North Carolina. They're not going to waste their money if they're not worried.
That's true.
So
that's a good point. I mean, I put Minnesota simply because the state. I mean, I think that it's true. Liddy Dole, as a campaigner, is having more trouble. At the same time, she at least has the state. Now, I know everybody's talking about the turnout. We got the governor's race, obviously Obama playing there. I'll be curious to see, though, if in the end, that's enough. You know, I can see Kay Hagan getting right up to like 48%, and getting over to 50, with an incumbent who just is not, you know, tainted. In that kind of state, I find that a little bit difficult. All right.
So you have Minnesota 7,
Minnesota
North
7.
Carolina 8.
Yeah.
I actually have 8, Louisiana. It's hard. There hasn't been as much polling there, and it's kind of a strange state. We still know what's going to happen, but people are saying, you know, Obama doesn't seem like he's going to make a play for it. We still know with all these hurricanes. So it's a big question mark, but I think Landry still has to watch out.
No, I agree, but she seems better positioned than she has been actually ever.
Yeah.
Both in the year and the way she's positioned herself politically and the amount of money that she has on hand. All right. So that was my number 9, was Louisiana. And
for number 9, that's where I come into Minnesota.
Okay.
You know, there's one poll that had, the recent poll that had Franken and Coleman tied. That may be an outlier. I want to see a couple more polls to see, you know, but you're right. If it's a big wave year, obviously Coleman's in trouble. But
Franken, I think, is the problem here. I just think that Democrats with a better candidate would have a much better chance here. And Coleman's doing, I think, everything right.
Yeah.
But you can see Coleman and, it's funny, Coleman and Smith are running almost the exact same campaign. They're both running as bipartisan, moderates, et cetera. One of them is getting traction. That's Coleman, the other one isn't, Smith. All right, number 10, do we agree on that?
We agree on Mississippi. You know,
this has fallen a lot. Remember, we had this much higher on our list.
We did.
Earlier in the year.
You know, I think Wicker's making advantage of his money. He's running a lot of ads that we're not hearing about. They don't do many releases at the Wicker camp, but the running ads are really hitting Musgrove hard on his ethics problems. I mean, this problem with Musgrove, he does have a record as governor. He can't run as a complete outsider, and there's a money disparity, and it's still Mississippi.
Well, and we have the whole ballot thing.
And the ballot,
and you can't find the actual race on the ballot. All right.
Yeah.
So that's it. Whew.
Well, we're out of time for Hotline TV today. I'm Quinn McCord.
And I'm Amy Walter. We'll see you next week on Hotline TV.